Hello, thank you for joining me today as we take a road trip through the US and explore some national parks through Nomad Cosmetics. This is the American Parks palette, and instead of just swatching these and showing you some looks, I thought it would be fun to kind of learn some facts behind the parks that is referenced here. If you are new here, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Staci and this is Staci Lee Beauty. Are cruelty-free and vegan. There's no parabens or mineral oil in here, and the cost of this palette is $39, and there is free shipping on their website if you spend $45 or more for domestic, I should say. So yes, what I'm going to do in this video is we're going to do eye swatches, arm swatches, and gonna show you some look ideas and give you some fun facts about these parks. There is 15 shadows in total. We have 6 mattes, 4 shimmers, 3 shimmer swirls, and 2 shifting metallics. And if you're not familiar with Nomad Cosmetics, each one of their palettes is designed on location and inspired by that place. These are talc-free shadows, so if that is concern, yay, talc-free. This package is 100% plastic free, and it is made of over 80% recycled cardboard. And one thing that I did want to say, when I open this, instead of having the plastic protective, you know how normally when you open it, it's the plastic protective, this is more of, it's not quite as slick as wax paper, but more along that lines. Okay, so let's get to the eye swatches. Let's start with Old Faithful. It was named by the Washburn Expedition of 1870, who explored the area that would later be called Yellowstone. And people kind of think that it erupts every hour, but it actually doesn't. They say on average it erupts every 91 minutes. And there's actually an app that you can download to see the approximate time of the next eruption if you are visiting. This is kind of more of a mustard yellow, I'd say. Very pretty though. You could create tons of looks with this, that is for sure. The water temperature that erupts from it is measured at 204 Fahrenheit, and it says the steam is hotter than 350 Fahrenheit. That is located in the northeast part of Ohio, and it covers 51 square feet. So I think this one, if you wanted it just as a topper, you could do that with a dry brush, it looks like. There is Brandywine Falls, which is a 65-foot waterfall there. And this color just feels so silky and creamy. It almost looks like, yeah, that there's shimmers of pink, like a hint of pink mixed in there. Yeah, I think that you can see the pink, hopefully. Here we have our yellows. Let's go to Florida and the Everglades. And the Everglades is actually the largest wetland ecosystem in North America. And it is a river that actually goes north and south. Eventually forms a river that is 60 miles wide and 100 miles long. Kind of like a lime green, but not a little darker than a lime green. Very pretty. Their colors are just so effortless. I mean, you could put a liner on, mascara, and go out the door just like this, one shade. The shade that we are going to swatch is, look at that beautiful blue shimmer. This is the Acadia Lighthouse National Park, which is located in Maine. It is in the midsection of the coastline of Maine. I have never been to Maine, but I really want to go there. It just looks like it would be so beautiful and peaceful and relaxing. Let me know if you've been there, if it is. And there is more than 100 plant species, or 1,000 plant species there. Yes. Oh, look at, okay, so the yellow shade, shimmer shade, I think was more of a topper, but look at this one. Look at it. Oh yeah. This one you do not even need to apply with your fingers or wet the brush. This is with the brush dry. Oh, okay. That is so pretty. I love shimmer shades. Look at how gorgeous that is. And this color right here that you're seeing, it's just the MAC paint pot. That is so pretty. And there's a little bit of fallout. Can you see a little bit of shimmer? If you are liking learning a little bit about the U.S. geography and the national parks while you're learning a little bit about Nomad Cosmetics' newest palette, let me know by giving me a thumbs up down below, and also leave me a comment. I'd love to know if you like to travel. If you don't like to travel, say no travel. But if you like to travel, let me know down below which way you prefer. Is it by car, by train, by plane, by boat? Because you could take a cruise. Mount Denali, hopefully I'm saying that right. It looks like a gray and white. Doesn't it just look like, if you look at that, it looks like it is the mountains, what I would picture. I've never been there. But I feel like you could look at that and you can see mountains with snow on it. At least that's what I see when I look at it. Do you agree? It looks so pretty. I cannot wait to put this on my eye and see what it looks like. And this is the highest mountain in North America. Okay, so this is with a dry, this is kind of even a fluffy brush. And look at, we're still getting some color. So it's kind of like a silvery gray color. It is located in Alaska. Never been to Alaska. I don't know if I could handle, well, I mean, you could handle things, but I don't know if I'd like the whole thing of, you know, they have darkness for so long and then there's days where it just stays light and you don't have night. I don't know what I'd think about, how I'd like that. This is a really pretty color though. It really, I feel like we've gotten so used to doing so many steps, at least here on YouTube with our eye makeup. But by doing these eye swatches, it really reminds me, at least, that you don't have to have 40 million steps to do your eye makeup. I mean, all of these so far, except for the yellow shimmer, I feel like that needs another color with it. But so far, the rest of these, I feel like you could do as a one shadow look. So you do get a little bit more if you apply it with your finger, but it's not a huge difference. So if you're not one that likes to apply with the finger, you're still gonna get some payoff. Okay, and now let's travel down into Arizona for the South Rim National Park. It is 7,000 feet and it actually gets cold there in the winter. Even though it's in Arizona, it still gets cold. I don't have a lot of purples in my collection, but this does not look patchy at all. So easy to work with. Look at, there's no fallout. And I mean, you're seeing how easy they just blend out. You get pigmentation, but they blend out. I mean, I can take a clean brush to go like this, but I almost feel like I don't even need to with these. And between November and May, you can actually see snow there. Snow in Arizona, right? Next, we are going to go down to Texas, almost to the border of the US and Mexico, to Big Bend. Have you gone to any of these parks that I've mentioned before, or do you have it on your bucket list to go any of these? The Big Bend became a national park in 1935, and the name comes from there is a large bend in the Rio Grande River. So that's where the name comes from, and that river not only borders the national park, but it also serves as the border to the international between the US and Mexico. I'm telling you, I learned a lot as I was doing research for this video. Yeah, there's like some brown and it has hints of pink as well. Can you see that? So yeah, you're obviously lose a little bit of the shimmer, I think, but you can use a fluffy brush for them if you want. See how right there? Oh yeah, see you're getting more of the brightness if you apply it with your finger for sure. Next, we're traveling up to Utah. I have been to Utah before, but Park City, never been here. So the Narrows, if you've ever been there, the pictures look gorgeous, but man, that looks scary. And that is part of the Zion Canyon. And about 2 hours into the hike is where the Narrows, the holy grail, as they say, for hikers is. And that is where the narrowest part of the canyon is. That's where a lot of tourists turn back before they get to that part. It says that the width of it is only 20 to 30 feet. Yet the walls on each side is up to 2,000 feet high. So if you're claustrophobic, I would think that would not be fun. There's no fallout for either one of these. Let's see if I apply, ooh. And it feels, the Narrows, it just feels almost like fabric. So this brown in the bottom corner here, Half Dome. This is located at the eastern end of Yosemite in California. So patting it on goes pretty good. Let's see if we sweep it on. I feel like if you kind of sweep it on with a fluffy brush, there's a little bit, it could be, I have the MAC paint pot, so it could be that too, but it feels like there is a little bit of, not really patchiness, but like right here, just had to kind of blend it out a little bit more, but nothing bad. It stands 8,800 feet and is made of granite. That has got to look gorgeous in person. I mean, the pictures look gorgeous, but just to think of like the sun, you know, shining off of granite must look just amazing. It's got its name because it looks like it's a dome cut in half, but they said that's just the way, what I read said that it was just the way that's created. It's not like it's actually missing the other half. That's just how it was formed. While we're in California, go to visit the giant redwoods with this shade. This is on my list. I want to see this, and it seems like it's such a cool place from people who have visited there. Have you went there? It does seem that you can't like fly in and just drive a little bit and be there. It kind of, anywhere you fly into, it is a drive to get there, it seemed like. And it is estimated that some of those trees, are you ready for this? They think they've existed there, some of them, for more than 20 million years. Doesn't that just seem crazy that they can even figure that out? That's amazing to me. All right, so this color blends on very, very easy, but it's not like where it's so pigmented that, you know, like it's gonna get all over, but it blends really, really easy. I really like this shade, and I do think that this is one that you could do one shade, one color, and be done. Throw some mascara or liner on. In Utah, there is also the Delicate Arch, and of course, there is a caveat to this fact that we have to take out the year 2020 because, as we know, there wasn't as much travel, but on average 1.4 million people visit the arch each year. The arch stands about 60 feet tall, and it is made of a sandstone, and it was created due to erosion. I usually don't take shimmers this high, but just to show you. I'm getting a little bit of fallout. I did not get fallout until I started applying it with my finger. Now let's head to the other part of the US and go to Kentucky. And when I was researching this, now this is really on my list to go to. I'm kind of a little claustrophobic, but it just looks awesome. This is Mammoth Cave in Kentucky. And something that I found interesting about this was back in the day, in the early 19th century, they housed some TB patients there for a short time in hopes that the environment would help heal their lungs. And there is even an on-site cemetery which has some of the patients that passed from TB and also some of the early people who were part of the original mapping. They are buried there too in that on-site cemetery. It runs more than 400 miles, and they think that it is even deeper than that because that is just what has been officially mapped. Isn't that insane? I would love to know if you have been there. I'd love to know what your thoughts are of it, and did you think that it was worth going? Is it worth a trip? Next on the list is Wyoming, and this is Teton Range. Hopefully I'm saying that right. And they have evidence, like with picture drawings, is that what you'd call them? Like cave drawings, that this was inhabited over 11,000 years ago by Native Americans. A shimmer shade with a dry brush and still get this payoff, you know it's good. And in 1971, Bill Briggs was the first person to do a ski descent down the Grand, and that actually ignited the excitement of the sport of skiing in the US. And if you have hooded eyes like these shimmer shades, I wouldn't bring up this high, but I'm just wanting to show you what it looks like with a fluffy brush. Before we go on to that, I forgot to mention that also the palette did come, it came in a bubble mailer, but then it was wrapped in this paper, and it has their sticker here. And then also there is a America's Park sticker and a postcard. I'm gonna just apply it with a fluffy brush first, just on the lid, to kind of see if you wanted this just as a topper. Oh, I forgot to say where this is. I got so excited about how this looked. This is in Washington State, and this is, I don't know how you say it, so I'm just gonna say OHO rainforest, which I didn't even know there was a rainforest in the US. Am I the only one? It receives between 140 and 170 inches of rainfall each year. Look how pretty that is. Even if you had a fluffy brush, just kind of patted it on. Okay, so yeah, you definitely get more color payoff with a dense brush, which is not surprising. Oh, and the valley here was formed by glaciers thousands of years ago. Just amazing, isn't it? All right, so we're gonna go in this time with Blue Ridge Parkway, and this roadway is 469 miles long, and we have an odd number of colors in here, so I'm going to put this color on both eyes and do a look with this. It was built in the 30s to connect the Great Smoky Mountain Park with the Shenandoah National Park. It's a little patchy depending on, seems like, let me try a different brush. Oh yeah, this one's better. Okay, so that one is a Morphe R, I can't make out the numbers, but this one is It Cosmetics, and it seems like it's going on better. So that would always be my recommendation before you, like if you have a shadow and, whoa, I kind of got that everywhere. But if you have a shadow and you're like, oh, it's too patchy or it just doesn't blend right, It might be the formula, but it also could be the brush that you're using. And I would say before giving up, if you have a shadow like that, then just try out different brushes and see which works best. Okay, look at this color. I got a little crazy with it, but it's so pretty. It definitely looks, there's a little bit more blue kind of mixed into it, like a teal almost, than I thought in the pan. But man, that is gorgeous. It's gonna take a clean brush and just to kind of blend this all out. Speed limit is 45 miles an hour on the road, and there is no big trucks allowed. And I did not know this, there is over 50 waterfalls. That is cool. So here is this color. Right, the finished look. Wow, this is a lot of color for me, but I really like it. What do you think? So let's give some thoughts on this palette and the colors. I like the packaging. A+ for that. That is just recycled. It's easy to use, easy to have it sitting up here, and there wasn't much like kick up in the pans. The font is a little bit hard to read on the names. I think that would be my only critique. And it's not a huge deal, but they are a little bit, the font's a little bit hard to read. So the mattes, no fallouts, except when I was using just a skinny brush and trying to use it as an eyeliner and patting that on. Shimmers, a little bit of fallout on some of the shades, but very, very, very minimal, like very minimal. I don't know about you, but when I look at this, I think that there are so many color combinations that you can do with this. And it just seems like would be like easy to put them together, to play around with. And yeah, I just really like it. I'm excited. I definitely will be using this a lot more. I'd love to know, what is your favorite look? If you have a favorite look or shadow or color in here. If you have been to any of these parks, and what do you think about them? Like, I'd love to hear your experience. I haven't been to any of them. Thank you so much for watching, and I would love it if you would come on back and see me. If you're not already, I'd love if you would hit that subscribe button. I hope to see you there, and have a good day.